How y'all doing?
My name is Caitlin J. Reeds. Welcome back to my channel, including a nice warm welcome back for me, myself, Caitlin J. Reeds. I know. Don't hate me. There's enough hate in this house to go around. Okay, so there's no need for you to come up my neck for not posting for like a month, but hey, if you've seen my Wheel of Time video, me finishing the Wheel of Time, that's pretty much why I haven't been back. Okay? It's been really rough, okay? The month of November was very rough reading wise, aka I hardly read it all. Alright, we've seen my past wrap ups. We have like upwards of 10 to 12 books each month. This month, I finished one single book. Okay, and while I'm not proud that I only finished one book, I am proud of myself that I finished a book at all. Okay, and I figured I would just come on here and give you guys a little bit of an update as to what is going on in my life. Alright, let you know what book I read, my thoughts, my feelings, okay? And just some goals, some general goals for the rest of the year, so that way I can hold myself accountable through others. Alright, without further ado, let's just get into it. First, we're gonna go over why. Why did I stop posting for about a month and like a week, okay? First off, like I said, Wheel of Time was really hard for me to finish reading, and I felt like I had to have a time to grieve. Okay? Because after I finished Wheel of Time, I only reread books. Alright? I think Nona and the Ninth was the only book that wasn't a reread for me, and I made a video on that already, but it was all rereads. The Percy Jackson Heroes of Olympus series, the Locked Tomb trilogy, which I think is now like a quartet. I think there's gonna be Electo the Ninth. But all I read were those, and then it was out for me. I was done. I was out for the count. Okay? Because I just was so attached to the characters of the Wheel of Time that it was genuinely painful for me to even get to know a new set of characters whatsoever, which is why Nona the Ninth and the Heroes of Olympus series worked for me, because I read the Heroes of Olympus back in high school, and obviously I've read the Locked Tomb before. I think I've talked about it on the channel, so yes. I just was going through a really rough time, okay? Because we had gone through 15 books, alright, with the same characters, and we saw that come to a close, and I, for one, wasn't super satisfied with the close that we got. And that's not me saying I dislike Brandon Sanderson, because if you see right next to me, I got all of his books, alright? I love Brandon Sanderson. I didn't love his ending for The Wheel of Time, so it took me a little while to sit there, digest what happened, alright, and come to terms with the ending of it, alright? How did I come to terms with the ending of it, shall you say? It's by deciding that I was going to jump right back into a reread. I do have it on my library list. Not there yet, alright? Not there yet, but it's going to be the next book or two that I pick up is going to be Eye of the World, alright? With that being said, what was the one book that I read in the month of November? You may be asking, okay? And it honestly was one of the perfect books to get me back into reading, because while in the beginning of the month when I was kind of forcing myself to read, it wasn't working, it wasn't clicking, the second I felt good enough to pick back up a book, devoured, ate this book up, loved it, adored it, alright? And that is Red Country by no other than Joe Abercrombie, alright? This is the third book in that middle trilogy that is in between the First trilogy and the second First Law trilogy. Alright. This is the last book in that trilogy, and I didn't enjoy The Heroes so much, which was the second installment in this, but Red Country was superb. Alright. Something Joe Abercrombie does just so well is he is a master at writing grim, dark, and violence, morally gray characters, and we get all of that really wonderfully bundled up in Red Country. It might also be that Logan Nine Fingers may or may not be one of my favorite morally gray characters to ever exist. All right, but we follow a set of characters. One of them's name is Lamb. Okay, and from Lamb, we have Shy and Shy's siblings who Lamb helped raise. All right. And the premise of the book is the farm gets ransacked, the two little kitties get taken. All right. And Shy and Lamb are left to pick up the pieces. And what do they do? Obviously, besides try to go and find the two siblings. So good. So good. In the beginning of this, Shy is making fun of Lamb for being like a coward. Little did you know. Little do you know. And this book is just so amazing. We see a lot of different characters that we come across in the first trilogy, okay, and the first two books in the second installment, the second trilogy. But I just thought this was such a strong ending to that trilogy because, like I said, I really disliked the heroes, okay, quite a lot. I liked Best Served Cold, but this is definitely my favorite out of all three. Red Country was just phenomenal. There's a fight. No, I'm not even gonna call it a fight scene. Let's call it like what it is, a genocide in this it's written so well, but it's excruciating to listen to and to read. But that is what Joe Abercrombie just really excels at, and he makes you feel these really strong emotions. He makes you feel anger, he makes you feel happy, he makes you feel distraught and sad. And that's what I love about Joe Abercrombie. And like I said, once I was able to finally pick this book up, it was a breeze to get through. Okay, absolute breeze. I adored it. Gave it, I think, like 4.5 out of 5 stars. Would like to thank, see, I'm a little rusty. Thank Joe Abercrombie for finally getting me back into this reading game, okay? I got no shame in my game, and this is the book that got me back into reading. All right. Anyways, I'll give you a little sneak peek into what I'm reading now. That is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. All right, let's see. Oh, how far? This is about how far, because I was listening to the audiobook while I was getting ready to film this video. Okay, so we're about 221 pages into the book. I'm really enjoying it so far. Is it as good as some of the other book series that I've read? No, but I think part of that is that this first book, for me, is so closely following the TV show, or I should say the TV show so closely follows this first book, that I feel like I know, obviously, what's going to happen. There are certain points in dialogue that I'm like, oh my god, this was word for word in the TV show. And while I'm sure that was really great to see as a fan, watching that TV show for the first time, for me, I feel like I'm kind of reading something I already saw. And like, I don't want to say I'm not enjoying it, because I am. It's just not up there for me with all of the other fantasy series. And like I said, that might change as we go along, because George R.R. Martin, okay, has only come out with 5 out of 7 books. Meanwhile, the TV show is long ended. We don't even talk about the travesty that is the 8th season of that show, all right? I'm not even going to bring it up. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to talk about it. But I'm sure that he will, wrap the story up much better in his books than he does the TV show. And I'm sure as the TV show progresses, it kind of strays away from the books a little bit. So I'm just excited to get to that point where I feel like I'm reading something new, something fresh. Right now, not so much. But I am enjoying the read. All right, I am enjoying it. How could I not? It's Game of Thrones. Okay, it's just no Wheel of Time. All right, it's just no Joe Abercrombie. It's just no Brandon Sanderson. And that's okay, but it's not. All right, it's not. But that is what I'm currently reading, okay? And lastly, all right, this is going to be a short and sweet little video because I've only read one book since I've been gone, okay? But I want to give you some goals that I have for myself, all right? For the end of the year, this last month of December, okay? First goal, I want to get to my 75 book reading goal. I was like 9 books ahead of my goal. Like I stated, I hardly read this month, so I'm currently on track according to Goodreads. So I'd like to get to that 75 book goal. That is what I want to do by the end of the year. I will be proud of myself if I achieve that. I hope I will. Cross my fingers, but there's no guarantee. I think I'm on like book 69 right now. All right. Next goal, finish the first Game of Thrones book, which is what I'm currently attacking, what I'm currently doing. So I'm proud of myself for that. I'm sure it will get finished within the next week. All right. And I'll let you know. I'll report back at the end of this month as to how I feel about this book as a whole. I think it used to be called The Song of Ice and Fire, or maybe that's like the name of the series as a whole, and this first book is called Game of Thrones, but I thought it was like the opposite. I thought it was the opposite. You know, I'm sure someone will correct me down in the comments below. All right. Then reread the first Wheel of Time book. Start rereading the Wheel of Time because I just need that in my life. And from my Wheel of Time video, a million trillion comments said that the reread feels just as good, if not better, because you're picking up on all the small little, Easter eggs that Robert Jordan dropped in his first book. So I'm excited to get to that. I love the Wheel of Time, if you can't tell. Absolutely adore it, and I'm just really excited to get back into that world because I've been missing it sorely, all right? I've been missing it so much, and I just need that fix again. So we're going to start rereading it, all right? And therefore, another goal of mine is to make a video for each of the Wheel of Time books that I reread, just talking about the first, each book, and giving a little bit more in-depth thoughts and feelings, since this will be my second time reading the series as a whole, and I'll be able to go a little more into depth about, Jordan's writing, the Easter eggs, like I said, that were planted, yada, yada, yada. So that's my plan, and I hope to get at least the first video out by the end of the month, but who knows, that's ideal, but who knows, okay? Next, I want to start posting consistently. Again, as long as I start reading consistently again, I will post consistently again, and I have been reading consistently. I just feel like a fraudulent, fake phony if I am posting videos on here, recommending books, being all happy and chipper, when that's just not the state I'm in, all right? We all go through ebbs and flows of this life, all right? We all get into reading slumps. It's about how you deal with it, how you handle it, all right? And I would feel like a complete phony if I got up in here and lied to you guys, saying I'm so excited to read this, that, and the other thing. Here are some books that I'm recommending because I'm just so excited and hype about reading. That would have been a lie, okay? I was burnt out to a crisp. I was mourning, grieving. Lots of different feelings were going on there, and I just didn't feel like I could get in front of the camera and behave like I normally would, okay? But that has changed, starting to read more consistently again, and I would really love to be posting consistently. Right now, we're going to start out one video a week, make sure we could get that consistent, then we'll go back to Wednesdays and Fridays. Right now, I'm teetering. Do I do Wednesday? Do I do Friday? I don't know. I'll have to look and think, think in my mind about what would be best for me to be doing. Probably Friday. So, yeah. Posting once a week, being consistent, and then once I feel comfortable with that, transferring back to 2 videos a week for you guys, giving you the content you all want and need and crave so desperately. All right. Then, if I get to 75 books, it would be really nice to go above my reading goal. Even if it's just a single book, even if I make it to 76, I would feel proud of myself because I had such a hard slump this year. The month of November was really, really tough. Usually when I'm in my slumps, I still manage to read like 3 books. I literally only read 1 in a month and a half. And that, for me, is just unheard of. But again, it's also unheard of that I finish a 15-book series and grieve the way I did. So, unheard of circumstances call for unheard of measures, okay? But I hope to just get at least 1 book above my reading goal. That would make me feel really good. And I think I can do it. I just gotta be smart with what I'm reading, okay? But I like to read big books. So who knows? I'll still be proud of myself either way, because I have read a ton of books this year. We all have. If you're here, I'm sure you've read so many books. So many books, you're not used to reading this many books. Same here. Last year I hit 75, but before that, when I was like in school, in college, I wasn't reading a lot whatsoever. Not like I was in high school. So I'm going to give myself grace, but I'm really hoping that I can make it there. All right. And I'm giving you good vibes for your reading goals, no matter what it is. I hope you reach it. All right. There's no such thing as too little, too many. Okay. Just do you. And what's good for you, I'm going to be so happy and proud. All right. Just like I'm going to try to be happy and proud of myself. All right. But I have a hard time giving myself the grace that I give others. So we'll see. And my last goal of the year is to make December a great month. Okay? Sometimes it can be really hard in the month of December. Some really rough shit happened for me in the month of December. Okay? And it's just a hard month, all right, with the holidays coming around. Some people love them, some people hate them. It brings back horrible memories for some. I am some. All right, just know if you are also some, you are not alone. But let's make the most of what is going on in the holidays. No matter what you're celebrating, just try to be present, be there with your friends, family, or your found family, whoever you want to spend this holiday with, and really be present, be in the moment, be grateful and joyful for what you have, and reflect upon yourself and what we can do better as people to not only better our own lives, but others' lives, all right? And really reflect upon life. That is my plan for the month of December. And I think it'll make it a really great month. So if you feel like you are up to doing all of those things, highly recommend. All right, highly recommend you follow along with me. Okay. All right. Well, that was today's video. All right. A little bit of a wrap up, a little bit of a goal share, a little bit of a, oh, why the fuck wasn't I posting for a month and a half? But there you go. It's all right there. I hope you have a great day, month, rest of the year, because it's almost over. All right. Make the most of where we're at. All right. Have a wonderful, glorious day. My name is Caitlin J. Reeds. Like, comment, subscribe down below. All right. Comment, what book did you read in the month of November? Did you also go through a reading slump like I did? And if you did, tell me why and what got you out of your reading slump. All right. I would love to know. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. Goodbye.